What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about a game called Heroes Forge. It's a game I picked up about a month ago, and I've slowly been kind of grinding away at it. I'm a big Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes fan, and I've been looking for something to kind of fill in the gaps between downtime. So this is like a hero collector. It kind of is a combination of kind of collecting the actual characters themselves, using some of the lower level characters as food to kind of level up your characters for star levels, and then you can also level up the characters what they call upgrades, which is basically sacrificing the same character to get more stats. So far I've been playing, like I said, about a month and a half. The level cap is 50, so you can see I've got 4 different characters at the cap. I'm close to getting another one. I kind of went with a light side focus for this first go around. They kind of have 2 factions. They call them Light and Darkness, I believe they're called. Yeah. And they also have sort of these sub-traits of physical, melee, and then there'll be spellcasters, ranged, mystical, things like that. So anyways, the basic idea of the game is to collect characters. You open those via the items called scrolls, which are down here. And you collect these through playing the game. You'll catch them on different nodes. You'll get them as rewards for your daily quests. They kind of flow in fairly often. I kind of keep these summoning scrolls, the lower level ones, available for quests, because each day you usually have to open 4 or 5 as one of the items. The Blessed Summoning Scrolls are a little bit more difficult to come by. Those do show up in various nodes. They don't come up as often, so usually I'll use crystals each day to buy one of those. It's kind of a 2-for-1 because you use a crystal to finish off your quest chain, then you get a reward of one of these as well. So it's not great. I'd like to see those kind of pop up more often, but it is what it is. That's interesting. This is the first time I've seen there's a maximum number of heroes, so I can't summon anything right now to show you that. So the rest of the game is kind of built around some different things. There's the campaign, which right now is made up of 9 different nodes. You can see I've cleared all the way to Dragon's Peak, which is sort of the last end game. They've made this, I think, a little tougher intentionally, but just to kind of give you a quick look at what a lower level might look like, you would pick either your heroic or your normal. You kind of go through these one at a time. You build your team, and this is what is a little bit different than some of the other collectors. You have a main character. I don't know if it's a main character or just sort of a person who... It's like another character who basically supports the team, but it's sort of not a character you collect. You do level them up, and I'll show you this. They have skill trees in a minute. Oops, I clicked instant battle. Let me go back to that. We'll do a quick battle just to show you what the battle looks like. So this is on auto. This is pretty much going to one-shot everything, but it gives you an idea. Basically, as you go through, it's sort of like any other PvP-based system. You pick your spell, you attack the person you want. Actually, that's an upgrade, so I'll do that. The game's still very early. There's lots of little niceties that other games have that this doesn't have. For instance, like you can't look at these 2 buffs right now. So I know one of them is a heal. I think this is like an additional attack, so it's sort of weird in that you get these buffs, but you can't really see what they are. So this is my support character that I mentioned before. So she's got things for this particular one that's more support-oriented, so things like shields or a mass heal. You can see she heals there. She'll also dispel if there's anything bad. And so basically you just kind of go through. This one has 2 waves, and there's definitely synergy. So for instance... Let me get to the next round here, but basically you can see attack all enemies with a certain thing and place burn on them. This one does more damage if they have the burn debuff on them. And then one of these other characters, actually I don't have him in right now, also applies burn. So there's a bit of synergy early on in the game. It's still, like I said, they've not got all the characters in, I don't think, and all the synergies aren't quite ready to go. But it's getting there, right? It's still like a super early game. It's kind of a rough-looking game. I think when I originally picked it up, I was like, wow, these characters look kind of, some are better than others. It's sort of a mixed mash of look. But as I've played it, it's kind of like part of the charm to me. I like kind of playing the rough, grindy aspect of it. I mean, it's not a game where you have a lot of niceties, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute here. So we just completed that. You'll get some rewards. You'll get some XP. And then you'll have these things which you can identify. So this kind of goes into what I was saying before. So this idea of identification is sort of this thing where other games have kind of went away from this. Like, we don't want to make players have to do extra steps. We want them to be streamlined and just kind of get in and get out, spend money, upgrade your characters, that kind of a thing, right? Well, this game, like, you can actually collect gear, and you can see this is Igmatic gear. This is sort of the first tier of legendary gear. They're actually adding some more in the upcoming weeks. From what I understand, they're going to be redoing their dungeon system, so will be different layers of gear you can get. But as you can see, I have to identify this to see what it is, and then you have to click on it. So that was one, and you can see I have 12 of these that I've collected this morning. So I've got to go through each one of these one at a time, kind of grind through them, see what they are. You can see my inventory is almost full, so that's another thing you have to kind of keep an eye on as you kind of play with the game. It's really, like, when I first was playing this, I was like, man, I don't know if I like how this is going. It's kind of a weird deal. But like I said, I think it adds to sort of the charm of the game, and how it's not really like streamlined and perfected, which is kind of cool, I guess, for some people. Yeah, I played a lot of Diablo back in the day. I think there's a certain grindy aspect of these games that I do enjoy. This adds time to your sort of daily routine. But again, like, the niceties are sort of what they are. They do have these other things. They're called core stones. These are things that just upgrade the character one level. So basically, if you sacrifice the same character for the character, you get kind of a +1, +2, +3. This means for the green tier, the uncommon tier, you can apply this to any one of the characters. They have these for all the different levels of characters, but they're not very easy to come by, to be frank, and they're very expensive in the store. So while I'm here, let me talk about a few of the different features. So the training hall is basically a place where you can put a character, train them up as you go day to day. It sits in the background. You can see some of these training times are extremely long. Generally, the guys I'm leveling up, I'll throw into a team and I'll use them for my daily quests. But then basically you come through here, you level it up, and you can see that, you know, it went up a level. So the cool thing is, this mage, once she reaches level 30, I can use her for food for a level for a 4-star character, which is why she's here. So I'm not really playing with her. It's just something I'm kind of doing in the background as we go along. The hall is sort of it's kind of a buff system, so where you can add various attributes to your characters. So you can see these are warriors, assassins, and mages, which sort of make up the 3 classes of the actual game. I've been kind of fooling around with initiative, which is the equivalent of speed in other games. I think most games, if you have more speed, you typically have an advantage, so I figured, okay, well, let's try that. I've poured quite a bit actually into the spellcaster category, but I haven't. You know, it's still early. I don't know if that's making a huge difference. I'm going to continue to buff them up, though, and see where it goes. It's an interesting concept. Again, these coins are hard to come by, and leveling them up is expensive. I don't know if it's worth the effort of having this in the game, but again, it adds to that grindy kind of sense to it all, right? Arena is your typical arena-based system. Again, the game's really early, so while there's people playing, I'm rank 6. For me to get to rank 5, I'll have to find a guy, and this is some sort of the weirdness with the game still. Like, I don't see level 5 right inside of my list of people I can attack. So I can go to level 3. He's 93,000. I think my guys are like not that. Let me see. 93. My guys are at 74, so I won't win that battle. So I sort of end up just kind of beating up on the lower guys to kind of get my daily coins, which feed into these seasons, which get you various rewards. So here's some of that currency I just showed you on the other screen. Basically, you get points for beating people. So basically, you'll do 10 battles a day. You'll just pick someone and beat them up real bad. If you can get to the next tier, that's cool. They do have seasons. Again, I don't know how much that's worth the effort right now. The guy that's at the top, he's been playing quite a while, so it's hard to catch through. The next area is the tavern. This is sort of your friends list. You can send coins to each other each day, so they're kind of just things you can feed into one of the stores. They do have a recruit system. Let me go back to that real quick. If you do find a friend to play and they get to various things, you get various rewards. I think there's also a portrait for your character as well. So level 50, again, about a month and a half. I'm not to level 50 yet. I'm at level 45, but it is what it is. If you have a friend who's playing, likes to grind, it's kind of cool. The raids are a daily thing, so they spawn these each day. Everybody in the game attacks them. These scale up based on the number of people playing. I've had a few instances where this has been cleared up. They're based out of Russia, so they start their clocks sort of in the middle of the night for me, so I've woken up a few times where this guy's already been cleared. It's kind of annoying because you can't get your daily quest done. I did report it back to the devs, and they did seem to be looking at how they can make sure this doesn't happen. The devs have been really cool. They have a Discord, which is really cool to drop in and check out once in a while as well. Guardians, this is the thing I was mentioning that is part of your team. So here's my Guardian. There are 3 of them right now. I've not unlocked the others. I really just wanted to play with one and get a good feel for it. So again, this is very Diablo-esque, if you will. They have a tree system which gives you various buffs. It depends on which tree or which path you go down the tree, rather, to which buffs you'll get. So I kind of went with the one thing I'm really kind of playing with right now is I have this heal which does heal across all my characters at 40 power. There's this heal which will do a single heal for 1. And so the reasoning that I'm kind of considering that is it's a much bigger heal in terms of what it gives your character. And typically what happens is the AI or an opponent will go after a specific character and get them really low. So usually you'll have 3 kind of at max health and you'll have 1 kind of really low. That heal tops them back off, whereas this heal is kind of wasted because you'll have 3 get kind of like a top off, but it's like a tiny top off, and then your guy getting beat down is basically like at 20-30%. It doesn't really help you as much as it could. But the trees have different buffs. There's a chance for dispel. It's kind of a weird, right? You don't get a 100% chance of anything. It's a 50% chance it will dispel effects. The shields work kind of the same way. It's cool, but like this is kind of annoying, right? Like you really need that. I've had it, I don't know how many times now, where I've had it where it applied it to the 3 guys I didn't need to shield, and the guy that didn't get it, gets smacked in the head and dies, right? So it is what it is, but it's sort of an annoying kind of mechanic here and there. Again, there's not a lot of like flexibility in these. These are just basically if you have bonus versus light or dark. I was fighting more dark side characters, so I went sort of with this guy. This stuff is like an overall attack power. There's probably some benefit to this being upgraded, but again, this is something I think I'll play with over time. The one I did get is this 15% XP gain. I think that's really worth it early on, especially as I'm trying to build up characters, so I'd recommend that one. I think it's worth the time. But yeah, play around with them. The other ones have different ones. They're kind of more debuff based. Debuffs I haven't really seen make a huge impact in the game, but I might be missing it. Again, I'll get to those sooner or later. Campaign I showed you already. The dungeon is made up of sort of these single stage things where you'll usually go through 2 waves of like your regular characters, and you'll fight this dragon, which I believe is named the same thing as the guy in How to Tame a Dragon. I don't know if that's a copyright thing or whatever. But as you go through, you can see you can clear them, and then you'll get to the heroic mode, and you'll get to the class challenge. I have not cleared, but one of the heroics, it got me to the next legendary gear level, which is Fireborn. So far, I've been lucky enough to get 2 of these pieces. So it sort of works you through. This is the area of the game they are currently reworking. They showed some screenshots of kind of 5 different layers that will have different gear. So that'll be kind of cool, right? It won't just be sort of this tier-based thing where you'll have to kind of go through it. The quest layout is just basically your daily quest, identify some things, level up a hero. You go through these each day. These are really cool though. They do give you food, through these scrolls, so you'll get a 3 to 5 character every day. These XP tomes are definitely good. You get these last 2 tiers. So these are definitely worth doing. You get crystals and a little bit of coin. Yeah, I mean, I think this is where you kind of level up your characters, do a lot of good things. Some of them are a little bit annoying, like there's some, like you have to do 10 heroics. They do have this ticket system. Let me go back here and show you. Within the campaign where when you pick a node, you can actually auto it. I think I did that on accident earlier. So this instant battle thing where you get these, and you do get these coins daily. I don't know, like... It would feel better to me to have this always be energy and just have sort of the swipe concept where I can say, look, I just want to burn my energy and auto this thing. I hardly ever run out of energy, and so I think that would be a better use, and then maybe move those tickets back to the dungeon, or just get rid of them, because dungeon has its own tickets as well. So there's all the keys. So it's sort of... I'd rather this be a key or a token-based system. I'd rather the campaign be more just like, let me use my energy. It would encourage people to come back, especially if, like, say these were, I don't know, if you have 10 a day, maybe you pay 5 or 6 energy to swipe it, or to go through it instantly. I don't know. That's something I think the devs will have to look at as time goes on. There's also these other things called rifts, and these are sort of just pop-up things. They kind of pop up a few times during the day. They usually have pretty decent rewards. There is one flavor of it where you'll get kind of these mechanical guys that will just one-shot your guys. So basically you'll get one guy down. Usually you'll get 1 or 2 shots and he'll take out another one. I don't like that. I did report that to the devs as well. Hopefully they'll address that. It's one I just usually skip. I just can't figure out a way past it right now, at least with the character mix I have. Let's see. Then inventory, I showed a little bit. Basically you had to keep track of everything here. Make sure you keep yourself room. The market is one of the two places you can buy things out of. So each day there'll be new items in here. This is good for picking up your initial legendaries. Now that I'm kind of at this level 45 and such, it's not quite worth it as much. Weapons seem a little rarer than some things, so I did check. I'm not leveling up any of these guys right now, so I didn't grab it. But if you have a weapon show here, it may be worth grabbing. They don't drop as much in the campaign mode. I bought this just because it was one of the daily quests today, so that's why that's been purchased. And then heroes, right? So heroes are the ones I've collected. There is a library, so you can go through and see which ones are which. I won't do it in this video, but maybe in another video I'll kind of go through the upgrade process with these and how you collect stars and go up the chain. I've been lucky enough to pick up this epic. This is a daily. If you do it for, I think, the 15 days, you get this guy for free, and then you get him every time you do it, so you can kind of buff him up. I've been using them for fodder because I've fought him a few times, thought he was kind of weak, so I'm just kind of letting him be. And if I can get him out of that thing each week, why worry about it? Chieftain seems pretty good. I've been leveling him up. I did pick up the Judicator. I fought this Lightbringer. She's very strong. The Interceptor, very strong. So basically, once you get any of these legendaries, they're all super, super good. This is the guy I was mentioning in Dimensional Rifts who will one-shot you. I don't like him. I want him, but I don't have him yet. So he is what he is. He'll continue to one-shot me in the meantime. She hits really hard as well, the Interceptor, and Lightbringer, I believe, can res people. So really cool set of characters. I got, kind of a good mix of these Paladin, Judicator, well, not Judicator. Was it Judicator? Yeah. Sorry, yeah, Judicator. So I kind of made them kind of my base team. I've been using Pyromancer as my other one. So with a Fire Raider, Fire Raider has some good synergy with Pyromancer there. So that's kind of a look at the characters. Like I said, I won't go too much on skills and gear and upgrades. Maybe I'll do that as a separate video as we move forward, just to kind of give you what it is. And then finally, they have a store. These are all different, various types of currency. This is arena currency. These are the little social ones I was showing you from the other thing. It looks like I can buy a summoning scroll. Usually just buy those. The raid comes out each day, so you'll get rewards from that. Typically, I'll buy gear here once in a while. These seem really expensive for how long it takes to get the currency, so kind of pick your poison. Scrolls, I will buy these here, like I said. Usually you get enough crystals each day to buy one of these if you really need it. I did buy the crystals per day package, which is under subscription. So you can see I bought the daily diamonds. I think you get 30 a day for a month. It has been very helpful to kind of pick up some things here and there. And then you can also buy currency itself. I find this a little bit expensive, especially for what you get. Mobile games are expensive. I'm not a big spender in a lot of these games. I am willing to do things like subs and things like that where you get some bang for your buck. Other than that, you have mail. You can see here's my daily reward from that thing I just showed you. There's my 30 coins. You get a couple coins each day, and you also get some guild token or the battle tokens. So again, those show up in your mailbox. Let's see. Free items. These are just watch a video, get free items. Typically, these are 4 to 5, 6 crystals. I don't really find them worth my time, but if I had a lot of downtime, I guess it would be okay. And then finally, there's a tower. I use this mostly to burn energy. You can see it costs 10 to go through a floor. So I don't really do this. The rewards are kind of Like, this would be nice to get to, but 75 is a long ways and a long grind. So I just use this basically to burn energy when I have the daily quest that says use 30 energy if I'm not doing nodes manually. And then finally is the summoning. So I won't be able to summon one today because my guys are full. Actually, let's combine one real fast and I'll show you what the summoning animation looks like. So basically you can, well, I'll just use one for leveling up a fodder. So this guy I've been working on. I'm going to train him up, so I'm going to train him. I'll pick one of my guys. Actually, I'll pick a couple of these guys. These low-level ones, you get like water, so you don't have to be too fearful. It's not going to level me up, but it's going to burn a few spots. So we'll go here. We'll do a summon. Let's see what we get. Okay, so Void Assassin. So 5-star Void Assassin. So these are really good because this caps you out at the star level. I won't have to feed people into him to get him stars. So this is actually super cool. He hits pretty decently. Somebody I'm kind of interested in. I haven't tried him out yet. But I fought him a few times, and I remember in one PvP match, he took one of my guys down in one shot. So might be worth checking him out. I'll definitely keep him at 5 stars. They always kind of offer you a legendary set. I don't think it's worth this money, especially once you get to the level where you can kind of clear the raids. Maybe early on, if you wanted to get buffed up really early, it's a lot. It's $20. I would pass on it for me, but that's up to you. These do pop up each time you pull a character, though. So just if you don't want to get it this time, you can get it later if you happen to pull another 5-star. So that's it for today. I'm sure there's little things I missed. There's a lot to the actual game itself in terms of areas to click on, things to do. They don't use the red dot, they use the yellow dot, but you can see I've got a lot to finish up today for my daily quest. So I'll look into doing some more videos, maybe a little bit more on Arena, maybe talk a little bit more about the fodder system and how you level up characters, talk about the upgrade system, some of the statistics, where those show up on various characters. There's the upgrade promotion gear, how all that stuff works, where they kind of fit into the game, and where you can kind of farm up some of this stuff. So I appreciate you watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. It's called Heroes Forge. It's in the Google Play Store. I'm sure it's on iOS's store as well. And thanks again for watching.